I'm sitting here on the balcony of my Airbnb in Costa Rica after landing about 36 hours ago, but it feels like it's been more like a month. Time is an interesting notion, or at least like how we perceive it, what our relationship with it is. And it seems maybe that we have more control over it than we think. So I decided to try a little digital nomad adventure after living in LA for a very long time. I'm on kind of a transition into a new era, and I figured why not get some new experiences along the way. I got up bright and early in the morning out of Tampa, Florida to fly to Costa Rica and get here in the afternoon. My friend came in and met me from LA, and we luckily have a mutual friend here, and he was kind enough to pick us up in his awesome 1970s vintage Land Rover, basically a safari land tank, and hang out with us, introduce us to the local culture, and drive us down to Tamarindo, which is on the beach. So he picked us up, and we decided to get dinner in the city there. Cool new experience to find a really nice restaurant there, sit down, have an amazing meal outside in the beautiful weather, and get a chance to stumble into my first immersive experience as a barely Spanish speaker, trying out the language a bit. So that was a cool new experience, new country, very local part of the city. And from there, we started to head down to the beach here in Tamarindo. Turns out there's traffic in every city, so it took us a while to get down here. It was after dark by the time we did. And along the way, it was cool to see the countryside and all the different kind of local, it was Saturday night, so all the locals having parties along the street, like music, food, dancing. It was really cool. It wasn't a big city vibe. It was definitely a different country's culture. So after driving a ways in the winding roads, we finally started to make our way towards the coastal area. And you could see little lights just start to show up on the horizon until there was more and more. And we went from just kind of wide open country area to all of a sudden the beach city starts like wrapping all around us. And as we got closer down towards the beach and the coast, we got into the city. It went from very country to people flowing through the streets. The energy was super high. It was pretty awesome. Even though it'd been already a really long day of travel, and we're both getting pretty tired, we wanted to experience like the energy of a weekend in Tamarindo and just see what all the hype's about. So we spent a while out there. Went to a club, went to kind of a little lounge bar, walked up and down the streets, just people everywhere. Got some, carne de calle, I would say, or street meat. So yeah, after having our fun and getting introduced to like just the great energy of the city, we finally went back home super late, and just I crashed out immediately. So the next day, after sleeping in, enough to feel okay for the day, we headed back out to the beach, met up with our friends again. All this new stuff, all these new experiences kind of just flowing in, so fast. And we headed out to do our daily shopping and get ready for our weekly routine and essentially get the things we needed to live here in Tamarindo for the next month or so. And while we're kind of out around the town picking up groceries and all that, we kept commenting to each other like, when did we get into town? When was it? What was our flight? That was last Saturday, right? Or that was a week ago, or was it 2 weeks ago? Or how long have we been here? And every time we'd say it, we're like, I think it was yesterday. The flight was yesterday morning, and basically, it felt like so much longer than it actually was. So in that realization, it hardly seemed real. Like the concept of time had changed. Like it seemed like this magic time dilation happened, where it was a warp of some kind of different dimension. And what was it? Is it Costa Rica? Is it this vortex of Tamarindo? Well, yeah, why was that? But I think we've all felt that way, right? We've all felt certain eras of time feel longer. We have more memories in like a condensed period of time, and it seems to have some kind of rhyme and reason to it. It's actually a concept that I'm really fascinated with, and I think it maybe, at its best, it reflects some kind of secret to life. There's plenty of research and scientific evidence to support that kind of a notion that basically novel experiences focus the mind and enrich process of how we retain experiences. And that makes us perceive time in a different way. It makes time seem longer. When we're experiencing new things, we slow down time in our perception. Travel seems to be a big one of these experiences, right? You go to a new place, you're out of your comfort zone, you're out of that routine, all that like subconscious, like daily habits that we don't even think about, that's behind us, and we're engaging in new things. We see new environments, we interact with new people. When it's a foreign country, then you're speaking or attempting to speak a different language, you're experiencing and encountering new customs. Perception and brain is just on fire with new stimulation that's just imprinting very deeply to have more memory and more novel experience to slow down time. I'm lucky to be on this journey as a digital nomad, and that's part of what I'm trying to experience is these new experiences in everyday life where I can still pursue professional endeavors, I can still pursue creative endeavors, but in my daily incidental life, I get to experience all these new things. But we can also experience this through relationships, through meeting new people, through new conversations, expanding your mind and perception with, books and research, that kind of thing, but also creativity. Creativity is a big one. It's a personal journey of new experiences. It's traveling inward, and that opens up new pathways, new perspectives, and creates new memory connections. At least it does for me. So it's the goal, and I know it'll be the challenge of my endeavor here, nomading, to have weekly goals for my professional and creative life, but also make sure that I am trying to venture out and take advantage of the environment in which I'm in, trying to, continue that memory and time expansion that I experienced in the first 36 hours here that was so rich in experience and memory. So it's the first day of the routine, and those are my intentions. I'm excited to continue to experience and continue to achieve and see how I do along the way. I'm going to fail. I'm going to falter, but so far it's a pretty fun journey. So I'm just going to keep going.